Yes, students, today we will discuss what is opening entry. Now, first of all, just clear what is the meaning of opening entry. In case of any existing firm, means generally every company, firms starts its new books in the beginning of each year. Generally, every year the firms prepare its new books at the starting of each year. The first entry in journal book will be to record the previous year's closing balances of all the assets and liabilities. What I mean, whenever we will start new books, first of all we have to record the previous year's closing balances of all the assets and liabilities, and that first entry in journal book is called what? Opening entry. And next is how to pass that opening entry. All the accounts of assets, whatever the accounts of assets that will be debited, and what are the accounts of liabilities and capital that will be credited. That is the rule. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of opening entry? First entry that is recorded in the books of account, that is called opening entry. Generally, business firms prepare books after every 1 year. There is a period of 1 year or 12 months. Suppose you have started your business in 2018. Suppose first year is it started from 1st April 2018 to 31st March 19. Generally, firms prepare books of account for what month? For 12 months. 12 months or 1 year. Now, at the end of that year, on 31st March 19, then next year will be started. That next year will be started from 1st April 19, and it will be closed on 31st March 2020. It means at the end of that particular year, whatever the balances of assets and liabilities in your books, assets, liabilities, capital, and that previous year's balance will be brought forward to next year, that is 1920. Okay, previous year's balances of all assets and liabilities will be carried forward to next year. And how will that balances will be transferred? We have to pass a entry, and that entry is called opening entry. Okay, and that opening entry will always be passed on what date? On the first date of year. It means on the 1st April 2019. Okay, is the meaning of opening entry, and it will be always passed on the first date of year. And that opening entry is based on our accounting equation. Accounting equation. What is accounting equation? We already have discussed. All assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. Okay. Now, how will you pass that opening entry in journal book? All assets, whatever all assets account will be debited, and all liabilities account, liabilities and capital, it will be credited. Okay, simple rule, all assets will be debited and all liabilities and capital count will be credited. Okay, and as per that equation, all assets will be equal to capital plus liabilities. Okay, now it is a rule, all accounts of assets will be debited and all accounts of liabilities and capital will be credited. Now this entry is based on what? Accounting equation. Assets will be is equal to capital plus liabilities. Now you have to check, after passing all these entries on debit and credit side, you have to check whether total of assets and liability side is equal or not. If there is some difference, then you have to check whether total of liability side is greater than assets. If total of liability side is greater than asset side, then that difference will be transferred to a separate account, that is goodwill account. Or if there is reverse, suppose asset size, total of asset side is more than that liability side, then that difference will be treated as capital amount and it will be credited to capital account. That is the rule of opening entry. Just now we will discuss how that opening entry will be passed. There is some balances given. The following balances appeared in the books of Ram Traders as on 1st April 2020. Now some assets is given and some liabilities is given. Assets, cash balance, bank balance, some stock is given and that assets and some liabilities are given. Now you have to pass opening entry. You have to pass opening entry. Now, what is the rule of opening entry? First rule is it will always be passed on the first date of year. First date of year is, that is 1st April 2020. Now next rule is all the assets will be debited. All assets will be debited and all liabilities will be credited. Now simple rule is, now follow that rule, all assets will be debited. First of all assets make debited. First asset is given cash. Cash account debited. Amount is 8,000. Next is bank balance. Bank account debited. Amount is 20,000. Stock is given 54,000. Debtor is given, debtors account debited 47,000. Then machinery account debited 60,000. All assets will be debited. Now all liabilities will be credited. Now leave one line. Two first liabilities is creditors. Two creditors account 20,000. Credited amount will be on credit column. That credit column, that are creditors given. Three creditors are given: Chamanlal 7,000 and 13,000. Next is given capital account, 2 capital account, 2 lakh. Okay. Now, after passing, after recording all assets and liabilities, now check whether that total of debit side or asset side is equal to liability side or not. If it is okay, then no need to any. Then suppose if there is any difference, yes, suppose first of all make rough total of both sides. First of all, what is total of credit side? 2 lakh plus 20,000, that is 2 lakh 20,000. Make only rough side. Credit side 2 lakh 20,000. Credit side, or it is also liability side. Then make total of that debit side or asset side. 28 9, that will be 1 lakh 89,000. Total of asset side is 1 lakh 89,000. Okay. Now it means there is difference in both the sides, debit and credit side. Now what is the rule we have discussed? If there is difference, if total of liability side is more than asset sides, then difference will be transferred to goodwill account. If total of asset side is more than liability side, then difference will be transferred to which account? Capital account. Now check in this sum whether what is situation. Now check it. Liability side total is 2,20,000 and asset side total is 1,89,000. It means liability side is more than asset side. And what is the rule? If liability side is more than asset side, and then difference. What is the difference here? Rupees 31,000. And that 31,000 will be transferred to a separate account, that is goodwill account. Okay, that's why now goodwill account, that 31,000 will be transferred to goodwill account. Now you have to write in bracket here, you have calculated right here balancing figure. Okay, now check both sides are now equal, and it is the rule of double entry system. There must be equal amount in both sides, debit as well as credit. Now at last you have to write a narration in simple your own language. You can write any whatever what entry we have passed, all the assets and liabilities balance we have brought forward, being assets and liabilities simply write down brought forward. Okay, that is the opening entry.